Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenos. We're here for the last day of LCUS scrims before the next split starts on September 20th, I believe is correct. Joined today for the casting by Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
What's up? Pretty good. How about you, Kenneth?
Doing all right. Interested to see how these teams play out. We already had a bit of a shake-up as we go over to the lineups for today. Sigtal Lord is being subbed in for by Gotta Get Lucky. At least he's supposed to be, but he hasn't joined the group yet, so maybe that'll be shuffled around as well. Um, but, we do see some returning favorites. We've got Gregosaurus Rex in that mid lane. Sugo Tensei, also in the mid lane. Prowler returning from that Nasus game as a support, and J Dog also returning from that incredible game as Mordekaiser, trying to flex a little bit more up in that top lane. Jeff, what are you going to be looking at for this first game?
Well, I mean, it's exciting because we got some new players in here that I personally, at least, have not casted yet at this time. Been able to tune in to a little bit of the scrims that y'all have been doing. Great job on the casting, by the way, on the scrims before this. But even for the existing players, you wonder, like, it's been, I really mean no shade. I know it's kind of a meme with the LCUS at this point, but I really don't mean that when I say this. But it's been a long time since we've seen a lot of these players play on a live stream in a situation like this. So really, I'm looking at everybody. I'm wondering, like, who's gotten better, who's gotten worse, who's added to their champ pool, who has detracted, who have patches hurt. So it's going to be exciting to just see everything, to be honest.
I'm very interested to see Alonzi Tardis currently playing under Robert the Bruce, um, who I guess I'll just refer to as Robert, um, being in the ADC position, and see how well Queen Elizabeth supports him. Definitely keeping an eye on that bot lane. Mid lane, we kind of know both these players to some extent. We've seen them before. We've seen what they can do. Tilted Pig, of course, was a big force in previous splits. So wondering what he's going to bring to the table. And keep an eye on J Dog's pool. What's he got? We saw a very good game with him in that Mordekaiser last Tuesday, which everyone should go check out immediately. um, and but that of course was a very specific situation. He was playing specifically to be anti-Nasus, and he did a good job with it. Before that, he did all right as Set, but then he had a terrible game as Kale. So, trying to still get a feeling for him, and I'm sure that's how Cowbell in this game one will be feeling as well. What are you going to try to keep him out of? Will they ban the Set? Will they reflexively ban the Mordekaiser? I think that'd be a mistake.
Agreed.
But we will see if they're able to put a plan together and where their focus is going to be. Gregosaurus, of course, had some good stuff going on in that mid lane for them.
Yeah, Mordekaiser just in general is it can be such a strong pick, but it's such a niche pick as well.
Right.
Where it's incredibly good in certain circumstances. Otherwise, like, don't even think about it. Like,
Right.
just disregard it.
Absolutely. And I mean, that was one of the things that we had been saying when he picked the champion to begin with, was that we weren't sure, especially because I think it was a first pick Mordekaiser as well. Um, I could be wrong about that. It was a while ago. I remember the Nasus was the first pick for Cowbell. Um, but I was just thinking to myself, we were both thinking, me and who was I casting with last week?
Truffle?
Truffle, yes. We're both thinking, okay, that seems like a strange pick considering how well he did in the set. And then it just worked out really well for him. So I don't think that Mordekaiser should be something on their radar, but who can say? Additionally, we're also just kind of keeping an eye out for, assuming Gotta Get Lucky is not going to be the one to join in for the jungle position here for Bruce City, is what kind of role will they be in? Because again, Tilted Pig was very scary when he was playing in the splits previously, and so previous LCUS players may keep that in mind. But do you want to apply something that happened so long ago into your logic, or like you said, assume everyone is kind of in a different place than they were, and go from there?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing now. Like once again, I like it's been almost a year and a half since we last played LCUS in a formal environment. So all these players could be better or could be worse than they were the last time. Like most of these guys, like I know some of these people play together on a regular basis, but a lot of them, you don't really know what they're doing, what they're capable of, what they're playing until now. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm like, this might be the most exciting LCUS split that I personally have casted over because everything is a wild card now.
Right. Yeah, in the previous splits, we ran those over the course of about a year and a half or so, and you kind of got a feeling for who was who was in what positions where. Where you knew that Ace was scary in the mid lane, so just keep banning Anivia. You knew all these sorts of things about these players. You knew that Alon Z was really good with Zac. Back and forth, Great Beard of Odin with his various champions as well. But now, who knows who's doing what with what?
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
Especially with some of the new players that we were bringing into this as well, most everyone playing in a different role to some degree. Obviously, Tilted Pig still in the jungle and such, but, and also, of course, we got our new blood as well. We got people in the chat right now complaining about not being in game. You guys can't. You guys cannot be in every scrims. That's not the point of scrims. Besides, you don't want to show off all your best moves in scrims, man. Who wants to?
I will say I'm not watching right now. Who's in chat right now? Who's talking in chat right now?
Well, we got Relexus, we got Burn the Heretic, Icy Flip, Ace, Sigtao Infinite. Sigtao Infinite correcting your grammar, Jeff, saying will be the most exciting.
What did I say?
I'm not sure. Asian Token Master, Relexus. If the point isn't me being in every scrim, why bother watching? Well, I mean, if you want to blow all your best moves in prelims, I mean that's your.
I will give a shout out though. To one of the names you mentioned in chat, from what I've seen, and it has been a limited amount, but from what I've seen, Relexus, that dude looks like a legit threat in the top lane. That guy, I'm excited to see.
Especially when
the rest
you
of y'all,
dive him
especially
under
Ace, the rest of y'all, especially Ace, are scrubs who I'm not impressed by. So, just kidding. Except Sig, how dare you call on my grammar?
All right, Gotta Get Lucky has finally joined, and it's a good thing too, because I was going to start talking about Legends of Runeterra with you guys for the rest of the time. You want to talk about that, Jeff? Or you just talk about that instead of the games?
Oh, dude, I don't even know about Runeterra. I just know about Let's Play League, or what is it, League Shadow Legends, whatever the heck that thing is.
Shadow
I get so many YouTube ads about that.
Well, Legends of Runeterra being the League of Legends card game.
I haven't played a card game since Yu-Gi-Oh in my youth.
Well, you should get on that, man. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when I played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, and I sometimes get that card game itch, Now, what I will say is that no card game really has the activated my trap card feeling like Yu-Gi-Oh does, unfortunately.
Of course.
But there's
how could it ever? I mean, that was the original trap card.
Exactly. Counter spells just aren't the same. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why Konami, well, I mean, besides Konami failing at everything they do, are so scared of success that they stick with their stupid mobile game version of Yu-Gi-Oh as opposed to actually doing like a full legit one like Magic is doing with Magic the Gathering Arena.
We've got some team switching. Is everybody good? What's going on?
They were just shuffling themselves around.
We're in. All right, let's go.
They were trying to be nice to us, and I think they actually did all get in the right order. So thank you. These teams are the real MVPs.
Oh my goodness.
All the other teams in these scrims, you suck. These guys are the real pros.
So I'm looking at. I've got to be honest right now.
Yeah.
Lilia and Yone, I literally have the abilities written down on a note card right next to me. Because I have not memorized the names of those abilities yet.
Well, no one actually plays Lilia, so there you go.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be actually disappointed if nobody plays Lilia. Whether or not in these scrims, soon. Because what you've seen in pro play is that Lilia is actually pretty freaking strong.
Sure.
But I understand her probably being a pretty difficult champion to pick up.
I'm surprised by this Pantheon ban. Wondering if it's something Gotta Get Lucky uses in the jungle, especially since I believe that's something Tilted Pig used to use. But also jungle ban on the Warwick. And the Morgana and Lux, the two most impactful supports we've had in these scrims.
I could see the Pantheon being aimed at Prowler potentially as a support, because Pantheon support can be very annoying to play against. And the Morgana mid, Gregosaurus, I believe, played that, if not last week, 2 weeks ago, in scrims. And that's also very annoying to play against. So I wouldn't be surprised if those are bans where they're just saying, we're not afraid of being beat by this, but we just don't want to deal with it.
Relexus, even you playing Ornn doesn't necessarily mean I'll approve. Don't worry about it.
Oh, don't play Ornn. Relexus. I have faith in you being an exciting top laner. Do not play Ornn. That's the most boring, stupid thing in the game. If you do that, I'm off the Relexus hype train immediately.
Uh-oh. Well, we've got Caitlyn picked up. Was not banned in this early setup, so we'll see if Cowbell comes to regret that.
Oh, I like the Jhin. I feel like Jhin should have come back into the meta more recently than he has been.
Any reason why?
Just with Caitlyn being so dominant, Jhin is somebody who can clear lane against Caitlyn, survive the lane, and then have more agency, have more utility in the mid game afterward. I think that if you see Ashe fall off, I think that Jhin will be the next thing that will come up as the go-to Caitlyn counter.
Well, we do have a Sejuani pickup as well, so that jungle is locked in. And a Trundle pick. I'm guessing that's going to be Trundle jungle?
I would hope so. So J-Dog is top lane here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Trundle doesn't really seem like a J-Dog champion. I know J-Dog is the kind of guy who likes to get in your face, like carry, make some flashy plays. And Trundle, no offense to anyone who plays Trundle, but Trundle is not exactly flashy in how he plays the game. Gregosaurus locking in the Mordekaiser. I personally have never seen Gregosaurus play Mordekaiser. And
I'm going to assume they're trying to repeat what happened last week. And that's going to be Mordekaiser top, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Caitlyn. Yeah, Caitlyn is going to go over to Fan in the bot lane. So they're probably flexing the mid lane still at this point.
Well, bot lane seems locked in for Cowbell, Soraka, Jhin.
Oh my gosh, that's such a toxic lane. You could never beat that lane unless you catch the Soraka. Wave clear for days, heals for days. Swain ban? I like that. Because that is one of the things that could potentially dominate a Soraka lane.
Support Swain.
Yeah. I honestly think support Swain is better than any other lane Swain.
Really?
He's so oppressive. in lane and in bot. He has so much survivability. The CC threat it just zones you so much. It's just infuriating to play against.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see the CC appeal. Same reason why I sometimes play Vel'Koz bot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Swain, I could see. I guess Swain is a little like Vel'Koz, except he's all up in your face instead of being,
Artillery
back.
boy.
Yeah, but they fill a similar role. The Silas ban, I'm interested about because wondering is Shugo Tenchi a Silas player? I don't know if anyone else on Red side has really shown a proficiency for that champion, so that's an interesting ban for me.
I didn't take as good a notes as I probably should have, so I don't remember. I know someone has played Silas recently, but I don't remember if it was Hugo Tensei or if it was somebody else. And the Fizz ban, of course, so that looks like 2 target mid lanes.
Yeah, makes sense given that the mid lane has not been picked yet. Oh, give me an Annie. Oh, okay, Akali.
It's an interesting pick considering how their team seemed to be building up before that, with everyone hide behind Sejuani. But now Akali's going to be mixing it up in the front lines also. This means that they're saving their top lane pick for last, which kind of surprises me.
I think they're trying to, they're making sure that they know where Mordekaiser goes, which, I mean, if you know, like, I don't know, maybe I'm revealing too much information here, but Gregosaurus does not play Mordekaiser. So you know that if you knew Gregosaurus, then you would know that's going top lane at this point, but maybe they don't. So they were a little cautious about that. Now they know with the Renekton pick, of course. Because I believe that's going to be a Renekton mid. Because I know Gregosaurus has played Renekton a few times. It's been adorable playing with him when he plays Renekton because he just laughs and is amazed by how ridiculously OP the champion is when he plays him.
I'm just wondering if they forced that Renekton pick with the Akali pick, or if that was the plan all along. So,
I do appreciate, and I would think you would appreciate Kenos. There's a lot of frontline, a lot of tankiness on the blue side.
Yeah, I'm liking Brew City's durability. I don't like the Kayn pick here, but you know.
Oh wait, is that really a Kayn mid? No, y'all are lagging behind on the switches. Come on, what is happening here?
Yeah, it's probably a Kayn top, I would imagine.
Yo, who went to the bathroom and forgot to trade? Okay, all right, we good.
Yeah, it's either a Kayn top or a Kali top.
Kayn mid against Mordekaiser, or excuse me, against Renekton. That could be rough for the Kayn.
Well, he picked it last, so he's obviously confident in it.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Gregosaurus has played Renekton a few times, and like I said, he's laughed hysterically at how strong the champion is, but Kayn is a tricky champion. A lot of people, including myself, to be honest, still don't know exactly the values, the little trade intricacies of Kayn, especially given his 2 different forms. So it's a tricky champion to lane against.
Yeah,
but I do feel like mid Kayn loses some value just because he has less walls to run through and stuff.
Well, on the other hand, he does have some easy avenues to escape because you only need to get a third of the way to your turret, and then there's a wall there. So in theory, he could get away easier from a Renekton in that way.
Yeah, that's you're correct. Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, this team that Cowbell's bringing out definitely needs to get a foothold early, I'd say. And more than likely, we're getting a red Kayn because they gotta make up for. Because I mean, obviously, Soraka's heals will help them in the durability department.
I think we'll see a blue Kayn, to be honest. Going mid lane, I think we'll see a blue Kayn.
Well, if we see a blue Kayn, unless they get a 10-3 lead, I'm expecting Brew City to win. But also Renekton and Mordekaiser if they don't get enough of a foothold either, they can also kind of be worthless. So a lot of potential for boom or bust here. Not a lot of consistency outside of the bot lanes in this game one. Jungles, of course, too. Sejuani can still do things.
Yeah, I do like the Trundle pick. I believe it was the Trundle pick before Sejuani?
No, Sejuani was first.
Then I love the Trundle pick because the Trundle counters Sejuani just with his ult. Because Sejuani naturally, just picks up so many tank stats, and Trundle just siphons those away. That's always been the classic Sejuani counter pick.
We have Burn the Heretic saying that there doesn't look like enough damage from Brew City. I don't know if I agree with that. Renekton is powerful. Caitlyn is powerful.
I think they need to get ahead early. I think we've essentially got early game comp versus late game comp.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think that Red Side has a good enough variety of damage that the tankiness of Blue Side will not be able to inhibit them, neutralize them.
Well, 15 seconds.
But yeah, Renekton is an early game champion, and Mordekaiser, if he doesn't really get ahead or at least stay even, he becomes irrelevant.
So who do you think's going to win, Jeff?
I go Blue Side. I do think Blue Side still has the advantage. I think bot lane could be a little dangerous for Red Side just with the Kate Nautilus. I mean, Kate is so lane dominant, and Nautilus is so aggressive. If they camp bot lane, I think that they will find a lot of success down there.
I gotta go with Brew City Brawlers blue team for skins, I think.
Oh my god, that Renekton skin is really aggressive in your face.
Not a fan of the Jhin skin. Not a fan of the fact that there's a lack of skins in general.
Yeah, you're right. You got 2 non-skins. Nurse Akali, I mean, it's not a great skin, but it was released for charity, so I always give it credit for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think it was maybe their first charity skin that they released. But
yeah, the Doctor skins were in the game before I started playing, I think, because they had Dr. Shen and Dr. Akali.
It is amazing to think how long this game has been around at this point. Got Blue Side really pushing in here. Oh, is anyone going to pop out of the bush? Nope. Got a lot of big character models there. It's very easy for somebody to accidentally pop out.
Uh-oh, Tilted Pig isn't looking.
Oh, Tilted Pig going to get rooted up. Did they take the anchor toss? Oh, good flash from Tilted Pig.
Alright, so that's one last jungle flash, but Sejuani probably isn't going to be ganking much anyway.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of relief, because the flash Sejuani Sun can be a little bit of a threat, but it's not that impactful compared to if you were to get a laner's flash at that same point. In any case, though, I like seeing the aggression from Blue Side. All 5 grouping up, saying, hey, if we find somebody, we make a play, we burn a flash. If not, we just recall and go back to lane. It's fine.
Yep, no reason to overcommit.
Now, it's funny, Gregosaur is playing this Renekton because, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I know Gregosaurus very well, and I know that he generally just hates playing melee range champions. But he's opted into this Renekton. I know he does like Renekton on an individual level, so it'll be interesting to see how this matchup goes.
Interesting to see how all the matchups go. J-Dog being very aggressive, but also very low on health. Brandana taking advantage of Akali's early burst.
Yeah, and you do not want to fall behind in a health gap against Akali early on, because her burst will surprise you, even pre-6. As Brandana dashes in, J-Dog will probably have to flash away from this, and he dies anyways.
Yeah, flash. He was too far gone for a flash to work there. Does get
I think
Akali's
he needed to flash about 5 seconds earlier than he did. So now I'll TP back to lane, but if Brandana can get some jungle help, if Tilted Pig can come back up here, they can just freeze this wave for Brandana, and the top difference will be immense.
Well, Tilted Pig very low on health, so I don't think he's going to be helping anytime soon.
Yeah, probably not.
Meanwhile, Rob and Lizabear are being pushed back pretty hard. Keeping up in CS, though.
Yeah, it's not surprising against the Caitlyn. You generally do get pushed in against the Caitlyn early on with the Q, the Piltover Peacemaker. Prowler throws out a hook, not gonna land.
Oh, here comes Tilted Pig at almost half health. Doesn't actually end up going in, but now he's going to turn around the other side here.
Ooh, Brandana.
Yeah, J-Dog is very tanky still here.
Oh, this is disaster for J-Dog. This is gonna be wow. And now they can freeze the wave. I think they can freeze the wave here if they want.
Yeah, I'm not sure why J-Dog decided to engage there. Maybe he just thought he was dead, but he could have gone around the Sejuani, I think.
I think once J-Dog got that wave to the turret, he needed to just back off. And potentially even recall, or at least just sit in the bush and deny vision. Just to not have Tilted Pig come in, because at this point that lane is effectively over.
Yeah. Somewhat fortunate for him, at least, that the second kill went on the Sejuani, so he's not in a 2-kill lane.
Oh, it's interesting to me that Brandana shoved that wave the way he did, because now J-Dog could actually set up a freeze if he wants.
A little bit of a fight here going down by Dragon. A big root coming down on Gotta Get Lucky. He does blow that flash to get out of there. Good flash. Fawn dealing some damage as well. The focus is all over the place. Here comes Hugo Tensei, and Gotta Get Lucky runs headfirst into the pig, but they get the Soraka. Fawn still taking a lot of damage. Hugo Tensei going after Caitlyn, but Caitlyn should survive this. Now being a little aggressive here, Fawn. That might be a little too far up, but they managed to get Hugo Tensei. Tilted Pig very low now as well, at least for a tank. Gregosaurus going in with that high early damage. Rob a little too far ahead as well, but manages to fall back with a flash. Lots of summoners being blown here early. Tilted Pig manages to get out as well.
Yeah, it was a good fight for both. For blue side's bot lane. Getting the kill onto WD Fan is a really good spike for Caitlyn, because we always talk about how Caitlyn needs a 3-atom power spike. And any influx of gold to help get there is huge.
Yeah, so that was a 2-for-1.
Oh, Gregosaurus might be in trouble here. Able to get the heal off the Q, and Shugo Tenshi not going to go too far. Not going to go too hard for it. You look at summoner spells burned in that last engagement. Basically, everybody from bot side has no flash. Gregosaurus on the mid lane has his flash, but yeah, it's only Gregosaurus and Tilted Pig that oh, what a nice pillar! Just baits Elizabeth. Excuse me, doesn't bait, but just forces her into the hook. No chance for the Soraka there. Nice kill.
Yeah, great combo between Prowler and Gotta Get Lucky there. Almost made it worth waiting for Gotta Get Lucky to show up just for that play.
And still, nobody got the dragon. So we had all that action. Oh, a solo kill in the mid lane for Shugo Tenshi.
Yeah, Gregosaurus stuck around far too long here. J-Dog pulls Akali into the Shadow Realm. I don't think that's worth it at all, and now he's going to end up dying again.
Yeah, Tilted Pig was there anyways, but Brandana finishes off on his own. You're locked in here with me, he says to the Mordekaiser in the Death Realm. And so far, that top lane matchup has not been going the way of blue side. Brew City Brawlers, I believe.
Yep, that is the blue team.
And yeah, with the mid lane, I think that's just the trickiness of the Kayn mid lane. Like, who plays against Kayn mid lane? Nobody. Nobody plays Kayn mid lane. So Gregosaurus had ult up, had flash up, and probably just didn't really know what kind of damage was about to come out from Shugo Tenshi.
Well, with all due respect to Gregosaurus, he also had almost no health, and Kayn was at half health, and he should have just gone back.
Absolutely, but I mean, the Dominus gives you 250 health, just straight up. So I think he just underestimated what Shugo Tenshi could do to him at that point.
Well, we'll see if he makes that mistake again. Let's check out, well, we have a, well, actually, let's watch this fight in the mid first. Gregosaurus does pop that ult now. Kane, of course, goes and hides.
There's the ultimate. He does have Gotta Get Lucky behind him, but no slice and dice available, so you just walk away. Nice pull from J-Dog onto Brandana, but he just has no damage. This Mordekaiser's so hopelessly far behind at this point that even if he pulls in the Akali's just gonna shrug at him.
Yeah, looking at the gold, we got J-Dog is 1,000 gold behind because of all that madness. Mid lane, 200 behind. So where's the advantage then? We got about an 800 gold lead in the bot lane for Fawn.
Looking for the hook though. Oh, I like the decision to go onto the Soraka there. I think that was the right choice from Prowler. Elizabeth could be in trouble. Good route from Robert the Bruce, and they will deter the aggression, but still a good health bar advantage for Boost side there.
I think focusing the Soraka will always be the right decision, at least until she stops counting for gold.
Absolutely.
Because you really
Another
don't
pull onto Brandana. Pulls out the Shroud, but... Oh, he actually got the Shuriken. Oh, this could end up being a kill. J-Dog pulls him into the Death Realm. He does land the Q, but Brandana just so far ahead. So much damage from the Akali. 0-4 on the Mordekaiser at this point.
Yeah, very rough. Now the gold lead is 1,200, 13. And Cowbell is probably going to pick up this dragon. Elizabeth very low though.
Living that Soraka life. Gregosaurus coming in. Oh, I thought Gregosaurus might go for Elizabeth. Well,
I think that actually would have been worth. I mean, he's got his bot lane in a reasonable position, though Nautilus is not 6 yet. Probably would have gotten 6 once that Soraka died. And then the Jhin probably would have fallen soon after.
yeah, it would have been an interesting call. If he would have had somebody else coming up soon. Oh, they're diving bot lane. I'm not sure about that call, Prowler, and Tilted Pig is here. Brandana teleports, but he misses the Shuriken, actually. So Prowler will die, but honestly, if you're Brew City Brawlers, you kind of feel lucky to get away with just one death. If they do, Shugo Tenchi coming in, doesn't find him.
J-Dog kind of wasting the teleport, but he is establishing his presence.
Yeah, I feel like Brandana's teleport essentially got him nothing there. He's already 4-0-1, so he's fine.
Yeah,
But there's dominance from Gregosaurus. He has almost no chance of getting out of here. Brandana 5-0-1. This Akali is off and running.
Yeah, here's that early game dominance that I was saying that Cowbell kind of needed. 5-1 or 5-0-1. She's there.
And they've gotten it. Yep, they absolutely have. It's almost come completely off the back of this top lane, but Shugo Tenchi done a good job in the mid lane as well. Bot side has still gone relatively well for Brew City Brawlers. You've got the Rift Herald being summoned up, 2-0-1 and a 35 CS lead for WD Fan on this Caitlyn. So
yeah, 1,100 gold also.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous to imagine that Brew City Brawlers could come back in this game, but they need to stop letting this Akali snowball.
Well, that starts with some help up in the top lane for their poor beleaguered Mordekaiser. He hasn't really
no
gotten...
MR built yet for the Mordekaiser up there. I understand it's early,
hasn't gotten
but
much in terms of ganks either. Rob in a little bit of trouble here.
Ace in the hole, good block from Elizabeth, but now she will get knocked up by the Death Charge.
Oh, that flash was not good.
Power may have gone too far. No, they're okay.
Time for a Jhin
Curtain
snipe.
call?
No.
Curtain call? No curtain call? Okay.
Might have been too scared of what Caitlyn's range would be, but she also has no mana, so not much of a threat from that.
Gotta Get Lucky will show up, and they should be able to knock down the rest of this turret. We are pre-14 minutes, so that means they'll get full value off all the plates. First turret goes down. That's a big gold swing for blue side, even though the top lane has been so dominant. They're at a gold deficit here at 12 minutes. Gotta Get Lucky, just gonna smack a ward down. Very dramatic.
Might be able to get something happening here in mid lane if Gregosaurus gets a little bit of help. Kane is at half health. sitting on 500 gold bank as well, so he's going to go back and maybe buy something? Nope, just posturing.
I do think it's interesting, the Kayn into Renekton pick is a good idea, I feel like, because you can ult whenever Renekton tries to all in you and negate a lot of his power. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Oh, here's a 3v1 on Gregosaurus, though. He does flash away, they miss the ult, and that's a pretty good escape by Gregosaurus, to be honest, because...
Yeah, he dodged
three
every
people
skill shot.
coming. Yeah, 3 people coming from different directions. They'll just pick up some farm. Did have to blow his flash, but that's worth it to not die in that situation. W Fan just destroying this tower up in the top lane. They get another plate. Maybe they'll get another one before turret plating falls. That 14-minute
might be
timer.
too much of a risk.
Yeah, Brandana is so strong. They really need to respect him. Regosaurus is going to try to get a plate in the mid lane as well. He should.
He does.
Brandana, good job by Prowler blocking that Shuriken. I don't know if that was intentional, but he got it. And now they're going to lock down Brandana. In a lot of trouble. Ace in the hole. Knocks him down. That's a huge shutdown going over to the Caitlyn.
Right, that's the best possible person they could have gotten that shutdown on, and that may be the start of Brew City actually getting some steam back in their engine.
Yeah, at this point, Brew City has really accelerated in the last just 2 or 3 minutes. They were down about 700 to 1,000 gold. Now they're up over 2,000. Really impressive what they've done. I like the rotation from the bot lane up to the top lane. J-Dog probably about to die again, but, you know, it happens. Somebody's got to play weak side, and he is playing weak side. Getting knocked down a little bit, but the rest of the team doing well on the opposite side of the map. 2 Drakes now.
Yeah, that's Cowbell's second uncontested Drake also, which is not great. But they've got another turret, so 3 turrets for Brew City now, which is nothing to sneeze at.
It will be a Cloud Soul, so not the most impactful, but when you have a Soraka, when you have a Kayn, a Sejuani, like, having the cooldown reduction on those ultimates is a pretty big deal. So Brew City definitely has to respect the dangers of that Cloud Soul could be. 12 minutes from now, you don't want to see Cowbell sitting there with a soul. And look at this. Just an uncontested Rift Herald, it looks like, is going to come out.
Yeah, I'm really not a huge fan of Brew City's objective control when it comes to these key big impact.
Oh, gotta get lucky. Got the steal, actually. And now WD Fan comes in. Tons of damage going down. Brandana running away. He is so fed, but he can't really fight this against all the tanks. Gets knocked up by the depth charge. There's the hook, and he will drop. Robert
nice
the Brute
snipe as well.
Will hang on just barely, and Shugo Tenchi a nice knock-up to keep his AD carry alive. But I said it was uncontested. I was wrong, as is often the case. Great job by Brew City Brawlers coming in there, getting the Rift Herald, and extending their gold lead to, honestly, almost an insurmountable amount at this point.
Well, I mean, that was a crazy just last-second rotation that the entirety of Brew City just decided to coordinate right there, and it worked out great for them. I mean, now we've got the Akali, as you said, suffering from not being able to get through all of the tanks that are between her and the Caitlyn. And now we got 4 turrets down. 4.5. Compared to 0 from Cowbell. I think the ground's starting to shift under Cowbell's feet a little bit here.
Yeah, it's really just the Caitlyn that is a target for the Akali at this point. You don't want to go for the Renekton. You don't want to go for the Mordekaiser. Nautilus, not a high-value target. Trundle. There's only one squishy target on Brew City Brawlers, and so as well as Brandana has done to get ahead, he just can't really make the most of his gold lead against this team composition that Brew City Brawlers has.
And Fawn is 3,000 gold above Jin. Jin hasn't really been able to get anything done, 3 assists, but hasn't been involved in too many fights that have led to successes.
So at this point, you wonder if J-Dog at 0-5 and 0 does he just start, anytime a team fight erupts, does he just potentially take a Kali to the death realm? And just, because if you remove yourself and a Kali from the fight, it's even more unfairly tilted toward the Brew City Brawlers. Akali comes back from the Death Realm and your team kills her. But without Akali, you're looking at Cowbell and you're saying, well, this game is unbelievably one-sided.
Yeah, you take 7,000 gold out of their team. That's definitely not a bad idea. It could even work for the Kayn, because Kayn also is a significant amount of gold compared to the other 3 members of the team. Kayn also being red, like I figured they would, because they need that extra durability. If, though, knowing J-Dog, I'd expect that he'd target more on the Soraka or the Jhin. Because, you know, he doesn't necessarily want to die, right? That's definitely not how he thinks about things. Nice coordinated blast. So I see it more, especially in his weakened 0-5 state. They'd be like, oh, I'm going to grab someone who's... I'm more likely to beat one-on-one. But we'll see what happens.
And he could certainly still beat the Soraka and probably the Jhin, even at 050, because Mordekaiser just becomes so powerful in the Death Realm. Jhin is immobile, so hard to dodge that Q damage from the Mordekaiser. So you could probably still kill either one of those one-on-one.
Yeah,
but
I don't really see that happening, though, but we'll see.
If he takes Brandana or Shugo Tenshi out of the fight, it essentially means WD Fan will never die. There's nobody, like, without one of those 2 guys, WD Fan just gets to right-click for days. We're seeing it here in this blue corridor. Tilted Pig just running for the hills. Shugo Tenshi gets locked up. Ace in the hole comes through. It doesn't get blocked by anybody. Tilted Pig goes down. Double kill for WD Fan. There's the free-firing Caitlyn that we talked about. Another pullback. Robert the Bruce will die to J-Dog. Brandana, he is the Fed member, but he just cannot carry this enough. WD Fan gets another one with a headshot. 4 down for the Cowbell. And Brew City Brawlers are going to push up mid lane? Okay, so they are going to take the Drake.
I want to give...
They could have taken the Baron there, to be honest, but they're going to take the Drake. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I got 2 comments on that fight. The first one is I want to give a big shout out to Gregosaurus for zoning that Akali through most of the fight. Because she was sneaking around the back. Brandana had a plan in mind to grab Fawn from behind. But Gregosaurus was there and managed to keep her away long enough for the fight to turn on her. So that's point 1. Point 2, J-Dog, you got 1 kill. Don't S-emote.
I do think that's one of the really interesting things about Renekton being in the meta right now, is that even if Renekton falls behind and isn't just, you know, the terror to the opposing bot lane that he can be, he can still just be a stun bot. He still has a point-click stun. He can just peel so effectively with that empowered W stun that he will always remain relevant.
Might have had an opportunity to grab Gotta Get Lucky here, but Brandana decided to go back far more up in top. Would like some more wards on Dragon, though Dragon was just taken. That's still, like, you don't want 0 vision on River. You want to have some kind of information about who's moving between what areas, but besides a couple of bush wards, nobody really has a great shot down there, especially not Brew City.
Sure, yeah, especially for Brew City right now, since you have J-Dog split pushing, you know, pushed up pretty far down in the bot side. Yeah, there should be at least a couple wards down there, but at the same time, I mean, Dragon was just taken, so they're probably thinking that bot river isn't that big of a priority. Maybe they're incorrect, but meanwhile, J-Dog having a duel with Shugo Tenshi. There's the ultimate from Kayn. He does land the Q onto him, though, and it doesn't land back from Shugo Tenshi. He does dodge the grab, and now he's just going to run through a wall. Gosh, this is such an interesting fight between these 2 bruisers. Direct to camera is going to take me away. It looks like the 2 solo laners decided to just split the differences and nobody dies, and that's the same thing that happens up on the top side as well. So now Shugo Tenchi goes back in onto J-Dog. He actually got pulled in, so he's saying you're locked in here with me without the Death Realm, and he will get the solo kill.
Yeah, I was trying to hop between both the fight and the dance in the jungle. Dance is now turned deadly. Fawn takes out the Sejuani.
Yeah.
Oh, big turnaround. Brandana's going right for Fan. But just too much CC for him.
Yeah, they're just too far behind at this point. Nice block from Elizabeth, but the Ignite from Gregosaurus takes down Robert the Bruce anyways. So it ends up being a 3-for-1, despite the one not even really being a part of the fight. Being a 1v1 on the complete opposite side of the map. That J-Dog did lose. Prowler looks for a hook onto Elizabeth. This should be mid and hib going down. W Fan is just so unbelievably strong with see tilt over Peacemaker's Queen Elizabeth back to the fountain.
And I
think he took down Tilted Pig from about like 30% health with one shot.
Right.
In that skirmish. It's crazy. That's a Sejuani. Sejuani is supposed to be the tank of tanks.
Well, Sejuani hasn't had much of an opportunity to get beefy yet with 1, 2, and 4.
And no armor. Yeah, went Merc Treads, Giant's Belt, no armor on the Sejuani. They will go right to the Baron. Prowler's going to patrol outside. Shugo Tenchi is there, and Tilted Pig might get there just in time for maybe a steal. It's an 8,000 gold deficit. I think you have to go for this steal.
Oh, absolutely.
Your life is worth less than a 4v5 because you lose the 5v5 anyways. Tilted Pig, he's waiting a long time and didn't even go in for... Oh, he got Death Realm. Okay, you got Death Realm. Nice play from J-Dog. No chance to go in for the steal. Now he goes in anyways. Shugo Tenchi
survives the snipe.
Survived the ace in the hole, but I think with this Baron buff, with 1 inhib down already, they got a wave in the top lane. I think that Brew City Brawlers can probably just close out this game on this push.
Yeah, we'll see. There hasn't been a real 5-on-5 team fight in a while here. Akali's either arriving late or Sugo Tensei is off trying to deal with the split push. But of course, with the gold deficit being 11k, I don't think having all 5 members of the team there is actually going to matter that much, but they might get somebody here.
They will catch on to Gregosaurus. This could be a nice turnaround. They do get 1 kill. Can they catch on to J-Dog as well? Good flash. The last bullet will hit, and this should be a kill. Oh, nice pull from J-Dog. Brandana's looking to chase him down, says, remember me from lane, my friend? I got you one more time. No, Shugo Tenchi picks it up. But it's still almost a 10k gold lead for Brew City Brawlers. As much as those kills might be therapeutic, might make you feel a little better, Cowbell, you're still quite in over your heads at this point. Maybe get this Cloud Drake. W Fan trying to burn it down.
I think that was the first Jin ult we've seen all game. This could actually be Cowbell's turnaround. Prowler's zoning quite well, though. Here we go. Gotta get lucky.
Tilted Pig. Ooh. Gotta get lucky with another good smite. He's taking about 2 of those from Tilted Pig. And that's a triple kill for... Oh my gosh, this Caitlyn is just... Yeah, this Caitlyn has reached, like, disgusting levels at this point. With the range, she basically just bypassed the 2-item power trough that Caitlyn generally goes through. Just got the catapult from 1 item to 3. And I don't think Cowbell has any answer for it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you compare, like, even... the tank situation, even just the junglers. Trundle sitting at 3,000 health. Tilted Pig is 700 less than that, also with no armor.
And he built another null magic mantle. Why? Against a Renekton Caitlyn Trundle and a 1/7 Mordekaiser, why are you building a second null magic mantle after already having Merc Treads?
Could be scared of CC, I don't know. I'm not sure what the next item he's building would be. It's gonna be all inhibitors
Probably wouldn't
down.
have mattered anyways, to be fair, but yeah, it's about to be triple inhib probably for Brew City Brawlers. Shugo Tenchi. Oh, they got the net out of Caitlyn. Tilted Pig goes in, but there's just no follow-up. Caitlyn is just too strong. Even Brandana has to just get out of there, can't finish off. Shugo Tenchi, that's a great knockup by the Kane, but they're just too far behind. That was actually a really, really nice Kane play. Or attempted Kane play, but won't matter. Brandana against J-Dog. J-Dog should finally get his revenge here, albeit a little bit unfair of a matchup in that specific situation.
I want to give
First next third about to drop.
Shout out to Robert as the game wraps up here. He was trying at the last second there to go in on the Caitlyn and realized he dealt no damage compared to her, and so he got out of it.
Yeah, Stormrazor BF against 3.5 item Caitlyn. Gonna be tough. So that was an interesting game, just split top to bot. Top side winning so well for Cowbell early on. The opposite for Brew City, but Brew City just snowballed so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was an interesting back and forth, because at first you're like, oh, everyone's going, oh man, Brandana with this Akali is just going to tear everyone apart. But then Caitlyn got that shutdown gold and never looked back. Had almost twice the damage as Akali. Is absolutely insane. We'll check out Vision. Nautilus doing very well with the Vision. Trundle as well.
Yeah, Prowler, I gotta give a shout out to Prowler. He had a good game on Nautilus there. As generally a jungle main. He played pretty well support.
Alright. So we're going to be heading into a game 2 here. So everyone's getting set up and ready to go. We'll do a quick break, and then we will get rolling with that. Teams will be flipped. Let's see if the result is 2. Be right back.